What's going on, guys? Hope you're having a good Friday, capping off the week, and we are seeing a nice green day. And I'm going to go over why I think that is. We did just get our PCE, and it is going in the right direction. So in this video, the main focus is going to be Matterport Mttr stock. I'm going to go over something on the chart. We may be looking at a potential breakout soon, and I want to show you guys that. We're also going to look at, of course, the PCE very quick, and we're going to see what Bitcoin's doing. We are near a potential breakout. I think over this weekend we could see a breakout on Bitcoin. So consider hitting the like, subscribe, ring the notification bell if you want to be notified on my next video. And let's look at a few things. And first off, really quick, why the market is running is PCE just released. And you'll notice that January to December we were somewhat flat. However, February we're now at 5% annually. This is definitely a step in the right direction, showing that inflation is continuing to cool and reassuring us that we are in fact going in the right direction. We still have a long way to go, but this can reassure the Fed and show them that what they're doing is starting to work. My expectation as for rate hikes, I think we can potentially see one more. It's definitely possible we see no more. As the Fed has previously said, the effects of their rate hikes are yet to be seen. And because of what they have done so far, we can still see inflation continuing down. But remember that it is still far away from their 2% goal. But yeah, in my eyes, this is one reason the market is running, which is nice to see a Friday that's actually green. Lately, a lot of Fridays have ended up red. Typically bad days for the market lately. But next up, let's briefly go over Bitcoin, and then we're going to look at Matterport. And with Bitcoin, we're back in the 28s. We need to break out of this roughly 29.4 area, start regaining these levels, start trading these as a support. Right now, this area of consolidation back in May of 2022 is somewhat of a resistance for us. We need to break into this and maintain it. But looking at Bitcoin, to me, things are looking great. We've got a little bit of room on the RSI to push higher, then potentially consolidate and regain a new support. This roughly 29,004 area. And I will leave this down below for you guys, but this is Bitcoin's halving clock, and we are only days away from being 1 year away from the next halving. And if history repeats itself, or at least rhymes, we will likely see a run up. As we approach the halving, typically the 1 year away mark is when Bitcoin really starts moving. So I do suspect some great things for Bitcoin moving forwards. And as I said, I will leave this down below for you so you can check out the clock for yourself. The rest of this video, I wanted to go over Matterport, or Mttr. I currently don't have this anymore, as I've told you guys a while ago, but I'm keeping an eye on this because we are looking at a potential breakout soon. But before I get to that, I did want to show you guys this article, and it's titled 3 Monster Metaverse Stocks to Buy for the Long Haul. They go over Sony, and yes, they go over Matterport, and they also go over Unity. But let's focus on Matterport. And they say another monster stock for the metaverse is Matterport, a specialist in 3D imaging and spatial data solutions. This company provides tools to create a 3D version of a real-world place inside a computer model. This technology helps other companies create realistic and immersive virtual tours, which are increasingly used in real estate, construction, and retail industries. Matterport's client list includes big names such as Airbnb, apparel retailer Guess, and real estate technologist Redfin. You'll see these names often in the metaverse, partly thanks to Matterport's handy world-building tools. In time, Matterport's customers themselves may become monsters in the metaverse market. And first off, right off the bat, I don't know how that's a metaverse. When you think of metaverse, you think of a world that you can talk to others in, a world that you can either play games or at least socialize. And what these are is really just kind of showing you properties. I assume with Guess, it's showing you their retail store. And I think it's kind of funny that Motley Fool puts that under metaverse. Yes, I think Matterport is a potential metaverse play, but I think the examples they gave are more just digital imaging. But correct me if I'm wrong, and correct me if you believe that is what a metaverse is as well. But you'll see here as well that they have a chart going over Matterport's trailing 12-month revenue, and we've been seeing very consistent growth from a year-over-year standpoint. But I did want to show you something here on the charts to be aware of. Matterport has been in a long downtrend, finding a resistance on this descending resistance line for over a year now, for about 1 year and 3 months. But I did want to tell you guys that we are approaching a potential breakout somewhere towards the middle of April, I'd say. So we'll see what happens here. If it breaks out, that's going to be a great sign, and we will be likely breaking out of our 50 MA and then potentially seeing a golden cross, which could bring more bullish momentum. But if this does not break out, if we find resistance here once more and fall farther, we will be creating new 52-week lows, and that wouldn't be a good thing for Matterport. And one thing I did want to mention as a negative is they are expecting actually a decline in revenue. They're expecting 35 million in revenue, whereas the quarter previously they saw roughly 41 million. However, the good thing is, looking year over year, they are still seeing some revenue growth, and in their upcoming earnings report, they will likely tout how their year-over-year growth has improved in terms of revenue. But seeing a quarterly decline in revenue on a company that's not profitable is never necessarily a good thing, and we may continue seeing a little more sell-off. But it's also very possible this is priced in. As last earnings was released, this company was right around the 3s. Now it's in the 270s. It has lost a good 15% or so. So this might already be priced in. Remember, the market is always forwards looking. And also wanted to pull up the EMAs. You know, the MAs looked a little better. We are starting to get some sideways action on the MAs, indicating that we could potentially move up and see a golden cross. But looking at the EMAs, you'll see that they're still in a clear downtrend, but a break above this descending resistance could start pushing things in the right direction. So I think it's important to watch for. But what do you guys think about Matterport? Do you currently hold this? Are you just going to watch it? Or are you going to avoid it like the plague? Remember, they are the leader in digital twin imaging. And if you're bullish on the metaverse over the long term, I think there is reason still to be bullish on Matterport. But as for me, I'm currently still watching it, and I will be watching for this breakout of this descending resistance. And of course, looking out for earnings coming up. But thanks as always for watching, guys. Appreciate your support and have a good weekend.